AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine trials had raised hopes for the world crippled by a virus. But after showing 90% efficacy in late-stage trials, the British drugmaker is likely to run an additional global trial to assess the efficacy of its COVID-19 vaccine. The update comes from AstraZeneca's chief executive, Pascal Soriot. After questions were raised over the results from the vaccine's late-stage study, Soriot was quoted as saying, "Now that we've found what looks like a better efficacy, we have to validate this. So we need to do an additional study." Soriot said it would probably be another international study, but this one could be faster because efficacy is known to be high, so smaller number of patients will be needed for this study. The news comes as AstraZeneca faces questions about its success rate. Several scientists have raised doubts about the robustness of results released on Monday. The experimental vaccine was 90% effective in a subgroup of trial participants who, by error, initially received a half dose followed by a full dose. AstraZeneca's trial involved 2 doses of the vaccine, but the quantities got mixed up. Some of the vials only had half the dosage of their vaccine candidate. So one group of volunteers got 2 full doses, while another subgroup of volunteers got initially half a dose of their vaccine, followed by a full dose a few weeks later. And surprisingly, the candidates who got 1.5 doses of their vaccine candidate responded much better. The efficacy was found to be 90% in that case. Now some experts say fresh trials could hinder the drug maker's chances of getting speedy US and EU regulatory approval. Instead of adding the trial arm to an ongoing US process, a new study would be run to evaluate a lower dosage. Soriot said he did not expect the additional trial to delay UK and European regulatory approvals, and that authorization in some countries is still expected before the end of this year. The additional trial and testing is unlikely to affect the approval process for AstraZeneca vaccine, he hopes. Meanwhile, the British government has asked its independent medicines regulator to assess the AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine candidate. This is a part of the formal approval process for the drug expected to be rolled out by the end of this year. As required by British rules, UK government has formally asked the regulator, the MHRA, to assess the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to understand the data and determine whether it meets rigorous safety standards. Britain has secured access to about 100 million doses of this vaccine produced by the British drug manufacturer in partnership with the University of Oxford. The Department of Health has said it expects 4 million doses of the shot to be ready for Britain by the end of this year and 40 million doses by the end of March 2021.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.